Good evening, you guys. This is Brenda B again. I hope everybody's doing well. My disclaimer is I am not a healthcare professional. I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything like that. I am just a person that's trying to get healthy by way of keto and my carnivore. And when I say I mean my way. I'm doing it my way. And I hope that you guys can join me. I set up this channel to have others to be accountable to. Because for some reason or another, I feel if I have someone to be accountable to, I will stay on the straight and narrow going forward. Well, anyway, the other day I did a video, and in that video, I explained to you that I was going to do this video to talk about what keto is and how to do keto. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I've been on every diet in the book. I've always been one to do research and read about losing weight. Something that's got to do with health and losing weight. As you can see, I need to lose weight. I've always had a weight problem for like the last 35 years, and I've been on one diet after another, constantly doing the roller coaster thing where you lose 10 pounds, you gain back 15 pounds. And that's why I'm where I am today. Okay, so therefore, with this whole keto phase that's running around, I thought I'd jump on the bandwagon, but it's not that simple. A couple of years ago, I did Atkins. Maybe about 5-10 years ago, I did Atkins. I lost a lot of weight. I felt great. I was able to stay consistent. But of course, me being Brenda, I did what I always do. I got excited. I went on vacation, got excited, and started to eat a bunch of things that I had no business eating. Because I'm carb addicted, of course, all it took was a little sugar, and then it put me back on the same path I was on before Atkins. Well, keto is not Atkins. It is like the next step from Atkins, but it's basically the same concept. Keto is a low-carb diet that results in ketosis, which is the same thing that Atkins is. You bring your carbs down as low as possible. Your body goes into ketosis. It starts to burn fat for energy, and therefore you lose weight. But there are so many other benefits to doing a keto diet. When you're doing the keto diet, it reduces your blood pressure. Excuse me a minute. It reduces your blood pressure. It improves your cholesterol levels. Of course, you lose weight. It improves your memory. It provides energy. It improves your skin conditioning. It slows down the aging process, which all of us want. It improves sleep and mood, and it reduces your appetite, muscle growth, and it improves your muscle growth and repair and increase energy efficiency. Now, let me tell you this. Most of the time, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm all over the place because I love to talk. And people that love to talk, things are constantly jumping in their mind, and they're saying this and saying that. If you're seeing me look off, it's because I did do some research on this topic. And that's why I know that this is going to be one or two videos, because first and foremost, I want to give you all of my research information. I want to give you good information so you can get on this journey with me and we can see some improvement in our health. Not just our health, but our well-being. And in addition to that, the byproduct is to lose weight. So with keto providing all of these good benefits to reduce your blood pressure, the average black person is taking one blood pressure pill or another. If you found something that all you had to do was change your diet a tad bit, just tweak it a little bit, you could get off of those blood pressure pills. You could regulate your sugar, they say there's no cure for diabetes, but like I told my sister years ago, if being diabetic is because you have too much sugar, if you stop eating the sugar, what would happen? That's the way it is with keto. If you stop with the high carbs, the processed foods, and the sugar, you will be able to decrease and maybe get to the point where you won't need medication at all. So that's the major reason I am doing keto. I'm doing keto to improve my health, and while improving my health, I will lose weight. So now that I've explained to you what keto is very low carb, high protein, well, moderate protein, I should say, and high in dietary fats. But we're talking the healthy fats. You want to eat the healthy fats. So, as low as you can possibly go in carbohydrates, high fats, which means you can have your butters, you can have your mayo, you can have your bacon grease, your bacon, things of that sort, because you want to go high fat. What's going to happen is it's going to change the way you burn energy. Right now, we are burning carbohydrates. If once you decrease the carbohydrates and you eat the high fats, your body change over from being a carbohydrate burner to a fat burner. So in addition to it burning the fat that you've eaten, it then starts to burn the fat in your body. It usually starts with your bad fat first. Your fat on your liver, your fat around your kidney, all the fat that's around your organs, that inner fat in your stomach. Those are the first places that start to burn, which that all by itself help create a more healthier atmosphere for your body. You know, your body cannot work properly if your organs are covered in fat. It makes every organ work a little harder. Well, think about that. Now, again, I'm not a nurse or a doctor, but it only makes sense to me that if an organ have to work harder than it should have to work every day, you're going to have other issues. And that is what create other issues. The inflammation in your body. Now, I can tell you a story on something that happened because I've been in major struggle mode this last couple of weeks. For like the last couple of months, I haven't seen any ankle swelling at all. No matter how hot it got outside, my ankles did not swell. Well, for the last couple of weeks, I've been in struggle mode. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, too much of this, too much of that. I'm walking around Menards the other day and I noticed my legs were very heavy. I looked down, my ankles were extremely swollen. That's inflammation. Inflammation causes all sorts of diseases, all sorts of health risks. So, in doing keto/carnivore, now this is not only my way, this is the industry way. I'm going to explain my way to you in the second video. But the concept is basically the same, but the industry say moderate protein, high fat, and low carbs, as low as you can possibly go. That's all you have to do. Okay, now what can you eat? Now I know anytime I was trying to go on a diet or follow somebody with that was losing weight or something, my question was, okay, where do I get started? What do I need to know? What do I need to do? They're not giving me enough information. Well, I've just given you your first bit of information. Moderate protein, high fat, high healthy fats, and low carb, which means you need to go in your kitchen. And anything that's high in carbohydrates, anything that's processed, anything that's in a box or a bag that came out of a factory, any kind of raw sugar, any kind of honey, all of that stuff needs to go. You need to get rid of all that. You're not to eat that anymore. But there are things you can substitute it with. And once you get started and this becomes a habit for you, you'll be surprised at how creative you can become in the kitchen. Now, things that you want to try to avoid, well, not try to avoid, you want to avoid. You want to avoid fruit, beer, potatoes, rice, pasta, bread, donuts, soda, juice, chocolate bars, candy, anything that's high in sugar, anything that's processed. What you want to eat is your natural fats, meat, fish and seafood, eggs, cheese, and vegetables. And that's the non-starchy vegetables, like your broccoli, your cauliflower, your celery, your asparagus spears. You can eat things of that sort. You can't have potatoes. You can have a little, because you kind of want to leave the nightshades alone. But since you're just starting, we'll talk about that in another video. So if you decide to have a salad and you put onions and bell pepper and tomatoes on it, so be it. That's better than a bowl of macaroni and cheese and some fried chicken. Not that you can't have fried chicken, you just can't fry your fried chicken in flour. You want to get rid of all the grains. No grains, no more grains. No more flours, no more cornmeals, none of that. So, again, how do you get started? You first go in your kitchen and you clean your kitchen up. You clean your kitchen up, you clean up everything that looks like it's going to be a trigger for you. If you have jelly in the refrigerator, get rid of it. You have ketchup, get rid of it. You have barbecue sauce, get rid of it. You want to start looking at the label to see how much sugar is in it. On keto, you're supposed to go 20 carbohydrates or less. That's, if you're taking notes, you might want to write that down. 20 carbohydrates or less. And that's total carbohydrates or less. Really, me, I go as low as I possibly can. Some days, like today, all I've eaten today was steak. I haven't had, that's why I call it my keto, my carnivore. Some days I don't have any carbs at all. I just eat meat because I'm a meat eater. I love meat. So today I had steak. I had steak and I had water. Okay, so, but you want to remember to go 20 carbs or less. So therefore, you would not have a teaspoon of jelly that's like 8 or 9 carbs when you got the rest of the day to deal with, knowing you could only have 20 carbs per day. So go as low as you possibly can with your carbs. But since you're just starting, let's say do 20 carbs per day. If you can get less, that's a wonderful thing. But if it's a struggle, stay at about 20. Okay? Basically, what you're going to be eating is meat and vegetable. You can have mustard. You can have mayo. You can have hot sauce. You can have salt. I know that's something that they told you got high blood pressure, you can't have salt. That's another video. That's not totally true. You can have any seasoning that you want as long as the seasoning is not loaded with sugar. You can go in the kitchen and put together whatever it is you want as long as it's not carb-laden or sugar-laden. Organic sugar that came from the Himalayas? No. Organic honey that came from the Himalayas? No. Sugar raises our insulin level, and that's where the weight comes from. When your insulin is doing this all day, up and down, up and down, up and down, we want to keep our insulin level as low as possible. So, again, recap. Go in your kitchen, clean out your kitchen. Get rid of everything that's not keto. If it's not keto, get rid of it. When you eat, you can eat as much as you want. Because you're eating high fats, it's going to satiate you and you're not going to be as hungry or want as much. Now, the first couple of days you might want to eat because you're missing your sugars. But after about 4 or 5 days, you'll get to the point you'll have to remind yourself to eat because you won't be hungry. That's another byproduct of going on keto. You get to the point where you're not hungry. And remember, while you're not hungry, your body is burning your fat for energy. So if you're not hungry and you get up and take yourself a walk, you are burning the fat that's on your butt, on your belly, on your arms, on your thighs for energy. Okay, so recap. Step number 1, go in there and clean the kitchen out. Clean the kitchen out. All you want is vegetables and you want protein. If you go to the grocery store, do not go through the aisles. Go on the outer perimeter. The outer perimeter is the vegetables, and you got the meat. You can go over to the deli counter, get you some deli meat. Go get you some hot dogs. Get you some bacon. Don't forget your eggs. Your eggs become your best friend. You can have eggs any kind of way you want. Make devil eggs. You know, you can make devil eggs and put some bacon in it. Or you can make devil eggs and put some tuna in it. Tuna and any kind of fish you want, sardines in the can, all of that. You can have that. What you can't have is the starchy vegetables. You can't have the rice and the pastas. You can't have the grains. You can't have the bread. But basically everything else that's under protein and vegetables, if it swam or if it walked or if it growed out of the ground, you can have it. You can have butter. You can have a bowl of broccoli and you can put cheese on top of your broccoli and some butter and make yourself a thick T-bone steak and you got yourself a meal. Yes, that's a delicious meal. And I know a lot of the keto gurus, they talk about T-bone steak, ribeye steak, and all of these different more expensive cuts of meat. You can do keto if you eat hot dogs and boiled eggs every day. You don't have to have ribeye and T-bone. I love a good ribeye. And because I don't spend as much money on grocery anymore, because I don't have to buy all that rice and potatoes and things like that, anytime I go to the grocery store, I make sure I get myself a T-bone. Or I make sure I get myself a ribeye. Because that's a treat to myself. I'll make myself a ribeye, and sometimes I will sit and eat it with a salad. Other times I'll put butter on top and load it up with bacon. Then there's sometimes I'll just eat that T-bone, which is what I did today. Or the ribeye. But don't feel intimidated. If you can't afford the high cuts of meat, get what you can. When it comes to ground beef, because you can have all the ground beef you want. When it comes to ground beef, the more fat in the ground beef, the cheaper the ground beef is a pound. And that's what you want, because you're up in your fats. So you want the ground beef that's like 70-30, because it's a fatter cut of ground beef. You can make ground beef and eggs. You can make yourself a cheeseburger. I do that all the time. I make myself a bacon cheeseburger. I make myself a ground beef patty and put cheese and bacon on top and put it between some lettuce with some mayonnaise. Sometimes I'll slice me up an onion and I'm in heaven. And I'll tell you something else I do. I do the lettuce roll-ups with lunch meat. I love corned beef and I love Cajun turkey. I'll get me some lettuce leaves and put my meat on top of that with some cheese and sometimes some tomatoes or whatever, jalapeno pepper, whatever it is I want. And I roll it up and that's a meal. So see, you have to be creative in the kitchen. In order for this to work for you, you have to be creative. But you do not want to stress yourself. Do not stress yourself. If you get up and you're hungry and all you want is some boiled eggs, go and get yourself 2 boiled eggs and be happy. That's how simple it is with keto. Again, no fruit, no beer, no potatoes, no cooked rice, no cooked pasta, no breads, no donuts, no soda, juice, chocolate, or grains. In one of my videos, I did talk about seed oil. You may want to go back and visit that, but what I'm going to do is starting from here, because again, like I said, I'm struggling, and in talking to you guys, it helps me also. So I'm sure I'm going to have another video on seed oil, and plus I want to talk to you about salt. So a recap on what it is that you need to do. You need to clean out your refrigerator and your cabinets. That's number 1. Then you need to go to the grocery store or use what you already have. I'm sure you have meat in the freezer, a few frozen bags of broccoli or some cauliflower or string beans, anything like that. That's a keto meal. A few eggs with a steak. That's a keto meal. A few eggs and some bacon. That's a keto meal. So that's it. That's all you have to do. There's no certain place to get started. Where you're getting started is just know that we're going low carb. We're leaving sugar alone and anything that breaks down in our body into sugar. We want to keep our insulin level low. And by the way, guys, this is the proper human diet. Now, I am going to do a part 2 to this video because I don't like extremely long videos because I know how impatient I am with a long video. So I'm going to end this here. Like and subscribe. Please leave me any questions or comments in the comment field. I will gladly answer your questions. And again, like and subscribe. And I hope you guys are having a good evening. I hope you're going to follow me on this journey. We're going to be accountable to each other. And like and subscribe. Bye.